spotlight on the drug sector. We have some people coming in. That's illicit drugs. Talking about narcotics. Before then, the issues that matter. A whole lot of evidence to talk about a whole lot of things right here. We only deal in evidence, and ours is a responsibility to inform you, no matter what it is. Okay. Placing the chips where they before, holding power accountable, ensuring that our leaders are honest, say and do the right thing. A whole lot of good things happening around as well. All of those tied together, right? On the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. This is where we go next. What's coming out of the continent? "81 candidates have applied for Cameroon's presidential election, scheduled for May-October, a historically high number confirmed by the country's elections body after Monday night's deadline." Among the hopefuls are familiar figures like Bello, Buba, Meigari, Maurice Kamto, and Cabral Libi, all making another run for office after switching political parties. The race remains overwhelmingly male, with only 7 women in the running. Leading the pack is 92-year-old President Paul Biya, Africa's longest-serving leader, who has ruled since 1982. I'm not sure my father knew my mother at that time. I don't think so. Go. 1982. That's like what, 43 years ago. Despite growing concerns over his health and fitness to govern, Biya said he is running again in response to numerous calls urging him to stay in power. And Niger has launched an investigation after learning about the U.S. auction of a rare Mars meteorite found in its territory. The Nigerian Council of Ministers says it is concerned that the rock, named NWA 16788, may have been trafficked illegally. The discoverer of the rock and the auction house Sotheby's have yet to respond. The rare rock was reportedly discovered in Niger's Agadez region by a meteorite hunter in 2023. Scientists say it had traveled 140 million miles from Mars before landing in the Sahara Desert. Yeah, Agadez. When you're flying, you see that whole Agadez region. There should be a name like that too. Is it Morocco? Agadez. One of that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's why it is. A whole lot of you are following, but let's take a very quick break with some of our sponsors here. 2 minutes to run over, so let's take some of our sponsors right now. When we come back, the issues that matter will be on the cards.
Hello, Mahawa. Have you heard the latest news in town?
No, Yakbawolo, but lay it on my chest.
Well, the good news is that the Liberia Revenue Authority people say you can now pay your taxes in both Liberian and United States dollars. No more forced to pay only in US dollar. We have the options now to pay in LD and USD. Yeah.
Wow, that's good news. So it means no more wahala to change your money to US dollar to go pay your taxes, eh?
Yes, Mama. Now you can choose between any of the two currencies to pay your taxes easily. It's a great step towards transparency and fairness.
But the exchange rate not stable. So what kind of rate do you see for us?
Mama, the LRA people say we will use only the Central Bank of Liberia exchange rate that will be put up when you go pay your taxes that same day.
Oh, then we are good to go.
Thank you, LRA.
No more worry about changing money to pay our taxes in US dollar. Nobody will eat our eye again.
Pay tax.
We
all enjoy.
Yamaha, CFA Mobility. Yamaha, I don't ride Yamaha, I can move in the mall on top of the sky. Yamaha, I don't ride Yamaha, I can move in the water the quota. Yamaha, I don't ride Yamaha, I can move in the mall on top of the sky. Yamaha, I don't ride Yamaha, I can move in the water the quota. Yamaha, J, the king of the road and the giant for all of the quota. Once you all can fly on the ocean, it can take you from Ghana with motion. CFA with mobility, I can sell the original quality. The people in the city will celebrate Yamaha breath, dropping the prices on Yamaha breath. Making the service affordable, spare by the two bananas and strap up. The people that selling the commercial Yamaha motorbike, selling a fishing boat engine. July 1st by the Yamaha birthday. Today that Yamaha birthday, we offering services, discount prices at our office in Talawa. We're talking it and we're doing it bigger. Today that Yamaha birthday, July 1st by the Yamaha birthday. Today that Yamaha birthday, July 1st by the Yamaha birthday. Today that Yamaha birthday, July 1st by the Yamaha birthday. Today that Yamaha birthday. Whoa, my people. This July 1st, Yamaha Motor is celebrating 70 powerful years. In Liberia, you are invited. Come stay on time just before Lockington Cinema for a one-of-a-kind celebration. Yamaha is more than just motorcycle. We are powering land and water. Check out our strong, fuel-efficient Yamaha motorbike built for Liberia's road, reliable for your hustle, and now available at special discount prices. Trust my level, Yamaha and play. And for our river communities and business people, Yamaha world-class boat engines are ready for you too. Yamaha get boat engines that are very powerful, trusted worldwide, and they are now available in Liberia. Do you need servicing or you need spare parts? Forget about it, Yamaha get your solution on July 1st. Just check out our Seyon Town office before Lockington Cinema. You will see Yamaha building. You check there on the 1st of July. From the morning to the afternoon or the evening, you will see the people doing services at our special anniversary discount prices. Yamaha Motors on the road and on the river, we move forward. Quietly.
Things are on me with the emergency. How do I manage again?
Potano, why are you sitting here just talking by yourself?
Julie, I need money quick. I want to go find somebody to credit me. Then I will pay them as soon as I get paid with the more in.
Echo Bank can credit you, but the only thing you have to pay in 1 month, and the good thing, the interest are just 3%.
For you?
Yeah, just go to any EcoBank branch and you ask for the form to enroll you on their salary advance platform. When they give you the form, you fill it up and you make sure your HR sign it. Then you take that form back to the bank. After you carry it to the bank, they will send you a message to let you know that you're already on the platform. Then you can use the *326# and request for 50% of your salary. Instantly, you will receive it.
Wow, just like that? Pray edit to more money, Judy. I'm going to the bank to pick up the phone quick.
Yo, go get the form quick. In less than 1 week, you receive the money. And what I like about it, and they can't even ask you for collateral set.
I go with there right now, no wasting time, oh.
I'm not saying you must not go there right now. You must make sure you pay the bank money back.
Hey, Judy, that you talking slow, so I will pay back quick so I can credit again. Echo Bank not easy, oh. Echo Bank, the Pan-African Bank.
Welcome back. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. Share the video. Invite others to join in. We know yesterday a whole lot of commissioning took place. But first of all, Yeah, this this news from Cameroon. These are the things that can make the incumbent to win. You know, if 81 people, um, if 81 people can want to run for the presidency of a country, that's like almost every district in that country, and is definitely sending someone and all of that. At the end of the day, the person in power, Paul Biya, 92 years old, who says people say he gave him an urgent call to run after being in power since 1982. You know, he could win again despite all of that. But the National Elections Commission, that's the NEC, of Liberia has officially released a final list of candidates for the upcoming 2025 Nimba County District Number 5 representative by-election. And those who have been released, whose names have been released, let me see if I can send it to our guy to put it up so some of you can be able to see it as well, you know. AB, just put this up very quickly. Sorry, I should have had that ever since. Put this one up very quickly. Let our people see. You know, let our people see. Let them see. Let them see. AB. AB, check your phone. AB, check your phone. AB, check your phone. Producer AB. Okay. So, the names of those who are running, there are 10 in that by-election in District Number 5, Nimba County, to replace now Senator Samuel Gongbe Kogai. So we have Balie Boris B, a male. The president is independent. We have Kakpo Abraham, male, Liberia Transformation Party, LTP. Kwagu Koto Senwongbe, male, from the Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction, MDR. A whole lot of people will say one of the leading contenders because the one he's replacing is from that party and they're very strong in Nimba and all of that. Mambia Takbo A is male independent. Menkoa Augustus Kane, Vision for Liberia Transformation Party, that's Volt. Miame C. Bokoa, Liberia National Union, Lionel. Wei Junior Joseph Gondi, male, Liberia People Democratic Party, that's LPDP. You know, they pulled out of the CDC after their collaboration time ended. William Sco, male, independent. Wongbe Madi Kema, female, Liberia Rebuilding Party. And then Uo Jackson Suomi, male, National Democratic Coalition, NDC. So 9 males, 1 female running in that by-election in District Number 5 in Nimba County. You don't see CDC. You don't see ANC. You know, you don't see Councillor Gongo's party is Liberal People Party, LPP. I don't see it. Some of these other parties that we will know to be, but especially the CDC. So you not see UP because MDR and UP are collaborating, especially in places like Nimba. If MDR is feeding the candidate, obviously they get the support of the UP. Liberty Party too. I don't know if it is the person they are supporting because they've been supportive of what the Unity Party does, what the Unity Party supports. But it is concerning that the major opposition now, the CDC, 2 by-elections have happened successively in Nimba, and they are not fielding a candidate again in their name. Yeah, they said they were supporting 3 people in the senatorial race, which we critiqued here. And again, they don't seem to want to fight in Nimba. They don't seem to want to prove anything. It is almost like fear of exposure. You know, when you try, you you get you may get exposed if you get a very very humiliating, drastic, belittling defeat. So that's what others will argue. Others may argue, well, okay, we know we're not very strong in those parts, so let's just leave it. Others will say, well, give it a go. You're a political party. Go and fight. Go and prove some strength there. Go and do some things. Be relevant. Be present. You know, be there. But so far, so good. People may really successfully argue that there's an element of fear of exposure in those parts, despite whatever they may have done in Nimba when they were in power. Okay, so that is that. So we are going to lay some things to rest. Clearly lay some things to rest. Okay. So earlier I was talking about the different dedications that took place yesterday. The regional passport hubs in Banga and Zweju. The president was in Banga. The foreign minister was in Zweju. The vice president was in Nimba to dedicate the new school building. While the president was doing that with the new school building in Banga, and then also went to the boundary between Lofa and Bong, where Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala dedicated the rest stop and some police area. So the president was there. A whole lot of things were said there. Very interesting things will come to them. On this whole school projecting and all of that, the vice president had something to say in Nimba. Let's listen to it. Let's bring you what he had to say. This is Vice President Jeremiah Kong. We want to lay some things to rest with evidence, overwhelming evidence. Let's listen to him.
I remember the Global Partnership for Education at a conference in Dakar, Senegal. If I'm not mistaken, either Rihanna or somebody went there to sing it, but the conference was intended to raise funds. And the fund that was raised at that program, 11.9 million was committed to Liberia for educational development. And because we needed money to support that bigger educational plan, Madam Sali made a case to the World Bank. And the World Bank allocated $50 million for this project. You know, when Madam Sali then Joseph Bagar as our president was right. And so, when those kind of money are secured, the first thing you need to do is to develop the project. When the project is approved, then you sign. This thing takes time. And so the project development started. One David Bessa, at the Ministry of Education at the time, Honor Minister George Warner, was the focus person for government. The full name is David Woos Bessa. You have one Peter DeVos and Colleen Hawk, who represented the World Bank, the lead to develop the project. In the process of developing the project, the government came to an end, and a new government was ushered in January 2018. Bessa was still at the Ministry of Education up to November 2018, when he took the ministers of education at the time, the deputy minister, Latin Detain, and I think other people to the states. Because every government account must either decide to continue the project or they want to change it. And so under the leadership of Minister Sodin, the then government, they decided to continue with the project. The start of the project running was here in 2019, when Minister Samuel Twelve signed finally after the project was developed. And running the first superintendent, the first the principal here at the time started. I remember I was representative then, and later he died, and I think Francis, or somebody else took over also, Francis. Now, the project started, and so in short, it was President Weah who started the project after Madam Sally and President Bwaga secured the funds. In the middle of the project, President Weah's term came to an end. And then President Bwaga came in. And under the able leadership of Madam Jaso Jala, this project is completed today. So the education plan that was developed is a vast plan with different sectors developing young people.
Okay, good. That's the vice president. Also at that program was a World Bank representative. Let's listen to what she had to say.
His Excellency Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Minister of Education, honorable esteemed educators, learners, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good afternoon and thank you for the opportunity to join you for today's commissioning of this beautiful school in Nimba County, Ganta City. Today's commissioning is a chance for us to reflect on what makes schools special and why we invest in education. The bricks and cement that help to build this space are just the beginning. The atmosphere in a secondary school is unique. It's charged with young energy, excitement, noise, laughter, ideas, problem solving, and most of all, learning. It's an atmosphere in which young minds are being challenged, memories are being made, and lives are taking shape. The commissioning of this school is the culmination of deep commitment and effort across a wide range of people. The government of Liberia partnered with the World Bank to finance the Improving Results in Secondary Education, or IRISE, project, which began in July 2019.
Listen again, let me go right back here.
The Improving Results in Secondary Education, or IRISE project, which began in July 2019, which was the year before the world was plunged into the COVID-19 pandemic. The $47 million investment had a simple but ambitious goal.
Okay, so the World Bank representative says this is a combination of something that spans a whole lot of people that began in July 2019, the year before COVID-19 affected the whole world. The VP says it goes back to Madam Sirleaf time, talking about the Global Partnership for Education. So let me give you a bit of background. I've had these documents, and I have different documents. I've asked those in power currently if they could, and that's why I waited yesterday. They could give me documents that will actually prove that this project started before 2019 and all of that, during the Sirleaf era. Well, nobody has come forth with something, but I know I've spoken with different people who worked at education during the Sirleaf era. We went across the country with then Education Minister George Weiner. There were a whole lot of issues that we realized in the education sector. So you remember the Getting to Best Education Plan? Yeah, it's a big plan. Different areas of education, whether it is teacher training and improving learning outcomes, whether it is school feeding, whether it is building schools, whether, it's a vast plan that they did. And that plan's cost was put at $100 million. So the Global Partnership for Education that the Vice President mentioned contributed an amount during the Sirleaf era to the overall education sector plan. In order to get additional money, why not then will advise President Salif to take a loan, to go for a loan with any institution? Well, the World Bank was one of those. What multiple sources say, that process of securing a loan did not go through. There was not a plan that said we want to build school in Magibi. There was an overall education sector plan that encompassed everything about education improvement, but there was not something that said we want to build school in Magibi, in Bong, in Nimba, and this is the money to do it. No. So the securing of that loan didn't happen. Then the WIA government came. Then they developed iRise and went to World Bank to secure a grant rather than a loan. Grant is money that you not pay back. You have to meet certain conditions to get that money. Huh? So that's why you hear the lady saying the project began. But what is confusing me is at that program, I'm told the lady spoke before the vice president. So I don't know if you didn't hear that part also. But there's a whole lot of confusion. They've been trying to confuse a whole sectoral plan with particulars to do certain things. So AB put up the first one there, improving results in secondary education. Arise from the World Bank website itself. Put that up so that people read for themselves. This is the most legitimate, the most authentic document about these projects. This is not from government of Liberia. This is not from anybody else. It is from the World Bank itself. So you see the abstract there. The development objective of the improving results in secondary education project for Liberia is to improve equitable access to and quality of secondary education. The project comprises 4 components. The first component, improving access and learning environment at the senior secondary level, will support the government in promoting equitable access to quality senior secondary education and a better teaching and learning environment in schools. It consists of following subcomponents. I, improving access to senior secondary schools, and 2I, supporting school expansion, rehabilitation, and renovation using a community empowerment approach, CEA. The second component, increasing opportunities for girls to transition to and complete senior secondary education, aims to address the large number of Liberian girls and young women dropping out between grades 9 and 10, and to assist the government in ensuring that young women transition to and complete senior secondary education. It consists of following subcomponents. I, scholarship for girls in counties with the highest female dropout rates at the senior secondary level. 2I, supporting safer learning environments in senior secondary schools for girls. And 3I, promoting community engagement to empower girls, schools, and communities. The third component, improving quality and relevance of senior secondary education, aims to increase the quality and relevance of senior secondary education through targeted efforts to modernize pre-service teacher training, strengthen in-service teacher training, improve management and quality of teaching workforce, avail teaching and learning materials, TLMs, to students and teachers, and access to learning digital skills. It consists of following subcomponents. I, improving the quality of teaching in senior secondary education. 2I, providing TLMs to senior secondary schools. And 3I, providing opportunities for acquisition of digital skills and competencies. The fourth component, capacity building, technical assistance, that's TA, project coordination and monitoring and evaluation, M&E, aims to support the effective implementation and management of the project while also building the Ministry of Education's capacity to manage the education system, providing the foundation for effective and evidence-based management and decision-making. Put up the next one. Put up the next one. So, development objective. The project development objectives are to improve equitable access to and quality of secondary education and provide a response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so you see the country, Liberia, disclosure date. When did they disclose this? When did they disclose this project? To disclose it. Yeah. When they went to make the argument out of that, when did you disclose it? When did they bring this project building up to disclose it and all that kind of stuff? April 29, 2019. Approval date as of board presentation. That's the July the lady talked about. July 2, 2019. So the government made the case April 29, 2019. They disclosed it to World Bank, say this is what we want, blah, 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 blah. The approval date, when they approve it, is July 2, 2019. Effective date. So I was confused when the VP said they secure the funding, they go develop a project. How does that happen? How do you secure funding before you develop the thing? I thought you would develop the thing and make the case, people agree before they secure funding. But in this case, it sounds like some form of reverse psychology. Like, you secure the funding, you get the money, and you say, okay, I'll go develop the project. Nah, I don't know what works like that, but no. Nah, someone may have been giving some advice that is not what it is. So the approval date was July 2, 2019. The effective date, October 15, 2019. It's on the World Bank's website. So total project costs $47 million US. Implementing agency, Liberia Ministry of Education. Borrower, Republic of Liberia. Fiscal year 2020. Commitment amount $47 million. Environmental category B. Environmental and social rates not applicable. Closing date June 30, 2025. That's when this entire project, everything that is contained, should close. So, whether communists are going to be president, whether we are going to remain, whether Taiwan Congress is going to be president, this project is closing June 30, 2025. The roof level that CDC stopped it on, they will have completed. Any government, any succeeding government did not necessarily do anything. It was already on, everything in place. It was just to monitor and ensure that they ended what they needed to end. So basically, that's it. Last update date, April 19, 2024. So they updated this information April 19, 2024. Notes. Total project cost includes funding from World Bank and non-bank sources in US millions. Active and closed projects show current commitments, proposed pipeline, and dropped projects show the forecast amount. The commitment amount for the projects in the pipeline is indicative and may be modified during the project preparation. 2. Borrower refers to the borrower of a loan or recipient of a grant, in this case, a grant. Fiscal year is the fiscal year in which the project was approved, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. So I think now with this information, with no other relevant document, we can safely say this previous administration started their thing. And it is not just that, a whole lot of other things that were mentioned by Latim Daton in his post that came as a result of this project and other things that they did. It's a good thing. The argument that, the other day they posted voter, yeah. Those arguments, for me, I've always argued, no matter what you do in a democracy, the people still have the right to vote you in or vote you out. They may think what you did is not enough and they vote you out. That does not mean you didn't do something. Because a woman divorced the man for cheating does not mean the man wasn't providing food money, the man wasn't buying her clothes, the man wasn't doing other things, or the man didn't buy her car. If he cheated and he was caught cheating and the woman said, oh, I filed for divorce because of this is that, he is bad on that side. I mean, he's not good on the other side. So the thing is simple. Just acknowledge what people do, because your time will also come and you will need these things. That's it. So we have closed the chapter now. I have closed the chapter. I've been waiting for other documents. I've talked to different people who've made the arguments. They've not been able to provide anything else. This is what World Bank, the people who provided the money, this is what they have. Their lady even spoke at the program and gave the timeline. So That's it right there. That case is closed now. Yeah? Let's leave that one. We were able to do the necessary research and bring you what the evidence is. If you hear anybody else talking otherwise, ask them for evidence. Because the evidence there is on World Bank website. They don't give you the evidence, yeah? But something good is happening as I speak. There is the launch of something. I may get the details later, the full details. Some youth bank being supported by the African Development Bank. Some 17 plus million I'm hearing about that's being launched to encourage youth entrepreneurship, business, young people into business, to be able to give them loans and whatsoever to do business. The African Development Bank is partnering with the Liberian government to launch that initiative so that young people involved into businesses, into entrepreneurship, into manufacturing and all those kinds of things will be able to get loan. Hopefully, we will get the details from the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. We'll tell you, but that sounds very, very remarkable to me. That's a very good thing, because when you talk about advancing and moving your country forward, it is these kinds of things that are also required. And the African Development Bank President Algo and Dr. Akiwumi Adesina has been able to say a whole lot of things. I hope I can get his full speech. There is too much juice and meat in his speech. Oh man, too much juice and meat. He told, man, I thought plenty things, yeah, but tomorrow, hopefully, we may be able to get that speech, and with this aggregated, we will look at it. He told some things, very, very interesting things, but this is a very good move, and quite appreciated. Kudos to the African Development Bank, kudos to the Liberian government. This initiative, hopefully, can meet the targeted recipients. Hopefully, a whole lot of young people that we know involved into agribusiness, all kinds of businesses. Some are manufacturing. They need support. They need the push to make their products better for us to buy from them as well as Liberians. So you need these kinds of initiatives. These are the transformative initiatives that make countries to grow and develop. And these kinds of things definitely have to be encouraged. Finally, someone says, where are the fact checkers on the VP statement? Well, they will fact check. If they think it is something to fact check, they will. Our fact checkers will. I have already done my own. This way is simply bizarre, misled, and embarrass the VP. Well, I don't know if he's the one, but the VP says that he was a lawmaker. He knows about it. A whole lot of things happen in the sector, and they just got them mixed up. I believe that's why it is. Especially, in politics now, you want your friend. You want your friend to get glory, but that's not okay. Some of us are here to ensure that everybody is kept honest. Tomorrow, if UP is not there and they started something and the evidence there, then another party there, you won't are like, oh, these guys didn't do anything. No. Some be there will say, no way. You cannot say that. We know about this. We know about that. Me? That's why I say government is continuity. If you know government is continuity, then you should acknowledge that the person started. You can just say government is continuity of us saying this man started. Talk it. Don't be ashamed. Oh, in this country, we gotta know who did what. The history has to be clear. That a historical behavior and what I would call revisionism, trying to rewrite the history and changing it to favor you. No, those things will not work when some of us are here to do the research and provide the evidence. No way. Everybody will be kept honest in your place. We did it to CDCL. There is evidence. Mo Ali is an evidence. Bwaka Jaliba, the evidence. Jacob Jala, the evidence. Roland Giddings, the evidence. Oh yeah, George Wisner, the evidence. Certain projects that were not very clear when CDC wanted to claim them. Quick. I will call the two people I really used to call were either Wisner or Giddings to give me information. So it's not strange I will call them on the show, on the morning show, Jala, so, blah, blah, blah. Why says that? Bah. The men will pull out the information, send it. Sometimes we'll host them. So we kept them honest. Some of the clear ones, they were able to acknowledge President Sirleaf. They named the ministerial complex after all, the RIA, the Japanese freeway, and all that one. But some that were not very clear, that they wanted to alley, their friends didn't do anything. No. We kept them honest. So that the same thing continuing. Some of you just started following. So that's it. But we understand that, you know. You know, there's before we go to the lines, we are sitting down here. A major thing is happening with transport ministry. I've been talking this thing for months now. And now the transport ministry staff themselves have become emboldened and they are coming out. They are talking, they are protesting. And everybody else concerned with the country, everybody just looking. I don't know. Is it that people are afraid? I don't get it. How come some of us who do not have anything, who are not anything, you know, in terms of being the people that security protecting, that have money and blah blah blah, that can travel anytime on their own money. How can we able to talk certain hard things, and some of you the high level, whatever, civil society or high level people in the country, religious people, you're just looking at glaring wrongs, and we're just sitting down looking at it. We allowing a few people. This company here that the police director clearly seems to have some interest in, that he brought way back, that Ellen Dosh, we are saying, no, he didn't sign the one that said they should do driver's license and vehicle license plates and stuff. No, vehicle registration. That it was for the different things that can happen on the road to manage road, not that aspect. So with two different laws, I've talked about those things here. Someone finger something somewhere. We've talked about it. Whatever happened again, this government came to power. They started bringing it back. We started highlighting those things. And we just sit down and it just come and go like that. That it is happening like that. As if this police director is a bogeyman. The police now has become the advertising agency for this company. This Lebanese controlled company. As we are told, and we just looking at it, it is okay. Then tomorrow we'll say, oh, we regret why we didn't talk or we didn't take action that time. There are long-range plans also, and there could be a whole lot of reasons why people will plan in the long range. Why they will want to have access to your data of drivers in the country. You never ever know. How a government sits and sees that a government that wants to raise revenue up to $1 billion plus, it will sit and see the possibility of one sector that's supposed to help declining, and that there's a payment of revenue that government money in this company will be collecting is now going through LRA. And the very government sits down. I know a whole lot of people in government, they're angry. They are angry at this deal, but people are scared. They can't talk. They don't want to be dismissed from job and all of that. Because it seems certain powerful people have been able to convince the president about this. And Mr. President, no, this is wrong. This is bad. This is terrible for your administration. You do not want to have a legacy of being the one who approved and allowed the dissolution of the Ministry of Transport illegally, passing over a responsibility of this entity to a foreign firm. And of course, affecting your own revenue generation. No. This one is not about whether you like the president or you hate the president. It is about allowing the president to see all of the details. It is easy for people who have interests in these different companies. First of all, we don't have anything. We could keep quiet. We could be approached by these people. Those things happen. We just keep quiet and just leave it. What do I thought it will happen? So I keep quiet. But when we take the risk to bring out these things for posterity's sake, then the country is supposed to rise up. We are losing money. We may lose. People may lose jobs. Our data may be exposed to whatever. But we sit. Because at the end of the day, the allegations are that a few people may benefit from the 70% that the company is supposed to take. They may have their own percentages. Is that what we always want? Is that what we want? Let me read you a letter finally that came from the Ministry of Justice. In fact, from the office of the minister to Honorable Ralph Shalif Tyler, Minister of Transport, blah, 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 the Honorable Tyler. And this letter was written July 14, 2025. Resumption of LTMR operations and cessation of the Ministry of Transport licensing services. Yeah. I am pleased to present my compliments and to formally inform you of the government's authorization for Liberia Traffic Management Incorporated to resume full operations under the 2018 concession agreement effective Wednesday, July 16, 2025. Following the Supreme Court's favorable judgment rendered on May 28, 2025, we resolve all legal impediments to the implementation of the agreement. Subsequently, we'll tell you about that Supreme Court thing. The thing that can happen in this country, when people arm twist everywhere, for a Supreme Court to rule this way, I go by rule the other way, go by rule again. Rule, then rule again, differently. I mean, how do we treat a country like this for pecuniary gains? I don't get it. How much do people need to live, my people? With LMTI's resumption of operations on Wednesday, July 16, 2025, all issuance of driver licenses and registration of vehicles currently conducted by the Ministry of Transport in partnership with Modern Development Management Company under the auspices of the public-private partnership between the government and MDMC will be halted as of close of business on Tuesday, July 15, 2025. The only exception to this cessation will be the clearance of existing backlog cases where citizens have already paid and commenced processing of driver licenses and or vehicle registration prior to Tuesday, July 15, 2025. These individuals may continue to collect their documents from the Ministry of Transport facilities, and such documents remain valid provided they carry dates before the transition date. The Ministry of Justice fervently implores the Ministry of Transport to ensure that the clearance of this backlog does not exceed 2 weeks from the date of this letter. Beginning Wednesday, July 16, 2025, LTMI will assume complete responsibility for all vehicle registration, issuance of vehicle plates, driver's licenses, renewals, and blah, 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 provision of comprehensive traffic management services throughout Liberia. This includes the operation of traffic ticket management systems, vehicle towing and impounding management systems, city parking systems, vehicle inspection systems. These are the areas that the WIA government say they wanted them to do. Traffic ticketing, vehicle towing, city parking stuff. Not the first two. Driver testing and certification services and the establishment of motor vehicle offices across the country. I hereby formally request the fullest cooperation of the Ministry of Transport in the implementation of this concession agreement. Your ministry's support and collaboration are essential for ensuring a smooth transition and a successful modernization of our traffic management infrastructure. I am pleased to to further inform you that the project committee of the LTMI concession has been expanded to accommodate a representative from the Ministry of Transport. This inclusion recognizes the important role your ministry plays in the broader transportation sector and ensures proper coordination during the implementation phase. Accordingly, I request that you submit the name of the Ministry of Transport representative to serve on this committee. The designated representative should be a senior official of the ministry who possesses the requisite knowledge and authority to effectively participate in committee deliberations and decisions. I wish to express my sincere appreciation to your ministry's cooperation during this transition period. Your understanding and support have been instrumental in facilitating this important national initiative that will benefit all Liberians to improve efficiency and enhance service delivery. Should you require any clarification regarding these arrangements or need additional information about the transition process, please do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you for your continued service to our nation and your anticipated cooperation in this important endeavor. Councillor N. Oswald Toye, Minister of Justice, Attorney General. So, that's what it is. We have played our part. We have spoken. Few months or years from now, we will be here to remind people that we said it, especially with what I'm seeing about what their charges are going to be higher than what Transport Ministry was. We've spoken. 777-700-995, the numbers to call, and we'll be through. Our guests, I believe they should be here or be around. Let's take some of your calls. Or any of the things that we have spoken about. This country has to make progress continuously, and all of us have to be a part of it. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. You have a Julius. This is most time. Call you from Stinker.
From where?
From Stinker.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Julius, when it comes to the child lesson issue, we all know that the Transport Ministry has a responsibility to register vehicles and give child lessons to travel. Now, if the government is taking a child lesson giving it to a foreigner, meaning that you will be taking library for untracked, it is a risk. Because the issue of the child lesson and that the vehicle registration, it brings huge revenue to the government. So the government have to take note of that. Hello?
Go ahead.
The government have to take note of that. The government cannot take the vehicle registration and that the child lesson and give it to a foreign company. But we are getting information that the police or the police actually Greco Como have a share within that company. That's the reason you see you are enforcing the ministry to give the issue of the child lesson and that the vehicle registration to a foreign company. So let us watch. After that, having said that, we the laboratories will come out. It will not only be the issue of the Transport Ministry, but with the Transport Ministry to say a protest against the government. So thank you so kindly.
Okay, thanks so kindly as well. Let's see who's here. 777-700-995, We are anticipating our guests who should be here to be discussing. I know there's a huge traffic coming from that side. Welcome. Let's hear you. Why is one not coming up again? Welcome. Let's hear you. Yes. Go ahead. Hello? It's not coming up. I hope our people can come look at this other phone. I don't know why the sound is not coming up. This other phone sound is not coming up. Give it a try again. Hello? Okay, that Lone Star line is not working. They will look at it later. Welcome, let's hear you.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. Hello? Okay, that one went off as well. With this letter and mandate from the Ministry of Justice, it is prudent enough to dissolve the Ministry of Transport since all of their responsibilities and duties have been transferred to LMR. Toga Harris Williams says that. So, Julius, where is the standing of the legislature in this whole saga? Has the legislature done due diligence to this due? And I'm particularly concerned about the duration of the due. Very similar to APM contract. Okay. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Julius, how you doing?
I'm fine. Go ahead.
here.
Mm-hmm.
Did I understand you to mean that this contract was awarded to the people for 25 years?
Yeah.
And they will give up 40 million?
Is it?
And when
is it 40 million?
Yeah, that one we're hearing.
Yeah. Over the course of 25 years, that's what they're.
25 years, you get 40 million, and right now the Ministry of Transport is raising 9.7 million annually.
Yeah, so annually between 9 to 12 million depends on how well they do. But I'm not very sure about how much our company is supposed to give. But what is known is that it is going to be on a percentage basis. They give 30% to government of what they will raise, and in fact, this amount is not being paid to LRA. Is being paid to them, and they will decide what that 30% is.
Oh my gosh! You know, have we become? Look, do you know that in 4 years time, the Ministry of Transport will be raised? The Ministry of Transport will raise like over $45 million. And you're talking about giving contract to people 25 years for 40 million. Have we become this? Sorry to say, there's a question. Have we become this insensitive? What is wrong with our nation? And then people will sit there and say, this is the rescue we envision. The president has to look at this. This is uncalled for. And Liberians will have to stand up now. You can't sell this country this way. And despite that, the security implication, do you know right now, we're going to these people, foreign companies, to give them our bio data and other feature of our nation, of ourselves?
On the people logo, they get the police stuff there.
What police stuff? It doesn't make sense for you to allow a foreign company to usurp this national function of our nation.
Okay.
Is this what we talk about? Is this it?
Thanks so kindly.
Shame up. This is shameful.
Thanks so kindly. Let's take more calls. My name is Julius J. This is the OK conversation. We're anticipating our guests. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good evening, Julius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is Smith calling from District 12. Thank you so much for the talking point. I'm wondering what is actually wrong with our leaders. I mean, every society, leaders are example, shining example for the younger generation. When leaders operate in lies and deception, then they are setting wrong example for the younger generation. This is the case with our country. This is the case with our leaders. Why can't we be honest? You will share today, tomorrow you will leave. Others will come and share. We expect shining examples from our leaders. To throw in lies and deception is not good for our society.
Thanks so kindly. He who has an ear to hear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches. Welcome. Let's hear you. What's your name?
Thank you, my good friend and brother Julius. This is Izzy. I'll call you on the Spinville Bell. Look, Julius, we spoke about it yesterday, and we will continue to talk about this particular issue. Julius, like I said to you yesterday, we Liberians, we just believe in suffering. We like for us to suffer. It's about time for us to rise up. I always hearing you guys saying the related law and the House of Representatives or whatsoever. Look, I didn't want to hear the people need at all. Now what Paul Gigami came out to say, they bought business, you're bringing it into my country. He closed most of the churches down. He said to them that I don't want to bring problem. That what makes most of the country not going forward. And that is true. We just believe in it. and the sitting here looking at things, they're going up here. Then we even talking about it. They talking about some of them all poor memo, this and that, getting huge amount of money. Did about talking? And our lawmaker then they just in there, they're passing bill. Oh look, they particular thing here. Lot of their hand in it. The money that they will generate, they already finished sharing it. That the portion of the one that going to the government, the other portion that are already been finished share, other people will be receiving it. That's what money the fuck coming for that, and we don't want to come shop for it. You know what I mean? That you come in register car, you double it to pay. Then we setting here to shoot up putting here and there for us to rise up, for the world to know that we serious. Then we say now you're talking say, you know that now say that then want put the government in power, that then want suffering. Who told you that? We all suffering. Then
okay.
We want to.
Thanks so kindly. If I taxi drivers and buses, if their registration fees go up, in fact, so who will even regulate the transportation costs now? Because the Ministry of Transport, you be able to tell taxi drivers, I mean, you should do it for this one. That joke. The transportation costs will definitely go up. And then the things costs will also go up, because if the man will have to be paying more to register his car or his bus, or where you think he's supposed to get the money from. Yeah. Welcome. Let's hear you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello. My brother Julius. This is William Bro calling from France.
Go ahead, William.
Yeah, Julia, you see the group of people that are currently in power, they are good at propaganda, but I think they are not good at governance. To govern like bro, we need sincere people. Meaning the team propaganda you will preach, at least out of 100%, try to do 80 to 85% in that propaganda. Julius, for me, I will never ever give my data to those people for any driving lesson. I will use my international driving lesson anytime in Liberia. Never in my life. First of all, those people, when Liberians were a serious group of people, they will be protesting that group will not hold. That group is a fraud to our country. First of all, they are violating our laws.
Well, the police director has not hidden his hands in this thing. Once you want to go against these people, a heavy hand of the police will definitely come upon you and all of that.
That will make it sad. That will make it sad. In a serious country, they will demand that police director resignation for interfering into another statutory institution mandate. He will be. We saw police people beating transport workers. What they came from inside? Just because of these people, we saw all of that. We saw it happening right here, right in this country. It's true, Julia. It's because we don't have the mind of even the people in the police. If they were patriotic enough, they would not allow their boss to do it.
Well, lots of them are against it, but again, that's a security force. That's a security force. Obey.
Very, very sad. I thought these people that in power knew better. Not new. It is the opposite.
Thanks so kindly.
Thank you.
Thanks so kindly for your call all the way there from France. Let's take more calls. Our guests, where are they? They haven't reached yet. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Julius.
Go ahead.
Yes, I'm Wilson Joseph Funny from the Queer Street Intellectual Center this afternoon, Julius. I overheard you asking for where are the religious people. Julius, they are here. But Julius, they cannot speak because they are all in government. So they cannot speak. I think about the days of Bishop Makala Pakala and the friend. He was not more vocal because he had an independent in the view. It's because he was not working in government. But Julius, let me say this. You know, my late mother she used to tell me constant. Once you approach your girl with lies, the only way she can continue with you is to continue lying. So the government came on the matter of lies. So the only way they can sustain and support us or the follower is to lies. Julius, the thing is clear. You went for a loan. This government, the past government went for a grant. So loan and grant, then you still Julius. Julius, sometimes the researchers need to be faster like when on the other side, where they can be fast to bring issue all like this. because you're looking at the bad person and who is the bad person in the country trying to mislead the public, Up to now, the Fatiago has not come.
My man, have you listened to tomorrow and on Monday, Wednesday, Friday? You get the people chance.
No,
but I have done fact check too now. I have been doing fact check.
Julius, you are not the fact checker. We are the
journalists. All the journalists are fact checkers too.
Yes,
okay, thanks. Let me just let you go. You see, here's the problem, right? Fact checking is a part of journalism. The problem is we have got used to, in this country, we have got used to he say, she say. So if the journalist knows what the truth is, the journalist cannot say it because they say, oh, they made a partisan, oh, that CDC man, oh, they made a UP man. When you find what the truth is, where you cannot find the truth as a journalist, yeah, you take the both sides. But if I was standing somewhere, and someone slaps someone, then the man slapping. I don't know. I didn't slap you. I was there. I would say I saw the man slapping the man. But in most cases, a whole lot of media people, it won't look fun to you. They say the man balance. When you say the truth that you know, that you discover, then they say no, the man taking side. No, that's not taking side. Journalism should also inform, should educate, and that's the level that some of us have reached. Now, why we not scared? If you do it and we discover the truth, we will say, it may somebody very say, you CDC man, you UP man, you the other person, you belly driven. But the truth always comes out. So, that's it. Others may not want to get to that level because, people can cause too much in this country. People can lie on people. People can write all kinds of things about people, their family, people see it, their children see it. So asking, oh, take time with the people think here. So I can understand when some media people don't want to, be that rough. But some of us we cook inside, all kind of thing. Now I can talk the way I talk. So tomorrow too, if the government, the writing is the things the government does, we say them, we highlight them. When the opposition says them, we say no, relax, no, this is not true. This is it. So yeah, let's move on this side. But where are our guests now? Welcome. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Gilo. How you doing?
I'm fine. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Wisa.
Wisa, Larry?
Yes, sir. I think Gilo, I had to join you the feed there. Maybe I can have an invitation to find and talk about the transport ministry issue. And Gilo, let me say something. Some of all I've been around, I've been knowing myself since Taylor Town, but from Taylor to Early, where I am, Waka. Gilo is very, very, very disheartening. Downhearted. Imagine, Julius, the only thing we can do in this country, we are not serious people. I hope you not feel bad to say what I'm saying. It means that everybody is not serious. But we have got few people like all that serious. If Labrador was serious country, will refuse now to even go to that go raise up.
Oh yeah.
You know that? But some people start going there. I know what made Labrador weak.
In other countries, they will refuse to go to those people. Let them pack all out of the cars.
Okay. Let them pack all. Let me see Gregory come on to car in the street of brick going and start killing all. Let's see. Whether we not go after him. Who is Gregory? Come on. Let me tell you, you just have to enforce law. And when you enforce the law, you can't break the law. You don't violate the law. Who tell you that Gregory come on above the law? Who is Gregory? Come on. Some powerful people that we know in this country, where are they? Where is Genghis Khan? Where back? Who is Gregory Como to make people fear? To make them afraid? And let me say this, Judo. Now, certain people don't really know. They do aware that the president saw a Gregory Como in a vote here. Are you aware of that?
Well, I have been hearing that there's certain evidence I wanted that I don't know if someone took that picture, but people have informed me that allegedly they have gone to transport and blah blah blah. But
I'm saying it right now. I say the president saw a Gregory Como in this, and I saw the people from transport ministry went to Richard Kun. Richard Kun saw Reggie speaker. People that don't even respect law. How will you go to Richard Kun? Why you there from Richard Kun? Everything that Joseph Boka approved, or the president saw approved, including Gregory Como. That's why Richard Kun will go back. You go to Richard Kun, go to Nyombi Kaka, and every day on, I let it some more people. Why is there on? Why is there on Jesus? And let me say the Jesus where I got the land. And now, as I'm speaking to you, Julius, I think I had to get to Clarence to get to you to come on a show and see how we can discuss it. Because some are calling all the public now to even cooperate with the people. They shouldn't go there to register. Let's go in the street and can't kill all of the Liberians. Let's see what will happen in this country.
Okay, thanks so kindly. Julius, this is preposterous and I'm surprised at this government. I won't be surprised if the Liberia National Police Service is hired by a company. I walked downcast in my community today, Julius. This person sounds like someone who may have supported the government's coming to power. That's how his writing sounds like. Let me find out from my people. We last communicated. They should have been here. I don't know what's happening. I know there was some traffic in Cinco there because of this program that was ongoing. They had to block portions of the main road. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, how are you, Julius?
I'm fine. Go ahead.
First time caller.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I don't know. Right now, where I'm sitting, I'm shaking because I regret why I have to get in the rain September 17, 2023. Because what kind of country we live in that 1 minute you hear good news, you are celebrating, and the next minute something will just come out just to pierce your heart. I'm so, I don't even know how to put it. I'm shaking right now, Julius. I'm shaking. I always listen to the program, but I have never been moved to call before like today. The government need to do something. The same way I left CDC, it won't be a surprise. I'm not working in the government. I don't need a government job. But we brought the government to power because we thought that the government was going to work in our interest. One day we happy, the next minute we sad. It's another bad news. It's almost like a curse. I need the government to revisit whatever agreement they have signed or concessions and make sure that the Liberian people are happy with whatever they are doing.
Okay.
Other than that, they are already lost one member.
Thanks so kindly for your call, sir. Lester Morris says 25 years that 4 different governments and the 5th one for Ezo. Yeah, you know. What? And so someone was asking a major question. I said, like, before government signed the deal with ArcelorMittal and all these, and some of these companies, there can be something called signing bonus, right? I think that the signing bonus that brought problem with the HPS stuff, you know, that the previous administration, that signing bonus, they took that money and then they could not get the HPS due to pass through. The government had used the money. As ArcelorMittal signing bonus, I think, I'm not sure with the figures, it should be between 40 to 50 million. What what did these people bring? Huh? Like, what is the signing bonus that they gave to the government? What, like, how much? What is the investment size? You don't know anything about the people. The boy just talking away. Gary Gomo, man, the Jackie, Ellington, they try, the mango, ain't making. I mean, somebody like, yeah, man, must say close to Ellen, very, very, very close, in a privileged position. Who knows about exactly how this thing started? Messaged me yesterday. Said twice they rejected under Ellen. Madam said no. We are government say the one he signed was for trafficking and all the other things, but not driver's license, not the work any function that Ministry of Transport doing. He said that the one he signed to. The mango, somebody put something somewhere. Hey, man. Then the rescue accepted the way. How they want to rescue now, my people? How they want you to rescue? Yeah? Because definitely the cost for vehicle registration will go up. I thought rescue are going to push for it to come down and say, yeah, the government got it. rescue, we're paying 150 to register, we're paying 100 to register this. The other card out for 100, one out for 150, one out for 125. They take out 25 out from there. And then it will call rescue. Yeah. But when it will go up, people will lose jobs. Then they're not paying the money to the government, they're not LRA to say, okay, let the LRA be the one to take the money, then we taking 30%. We who get our country, the money we pay in our government, we're supposed to pay too. Government get agency. Yeah, wait, let me explain the thing. I got a looking at my guys, like they stock somewhere. Let me put it the colloquial way. So the money we're supposed to give to government to help the government to get more money. The government are our government, so we're supposed to support it with our money. So we're registering the card and all the things in the driver license to go to the government to help the government. Then the government said no. The government inside get office to pay the money to all through. The government said no. I don't want y'all to get the money to me. Let me bring in foreigner. Y'all get the money to the foreigner. Then the foreigner will decide how much they want to get me. I who the government. Even though you're my citizen, but I don't want to be the one to be registering y'all, man. Let me pass y'all over to the other people. Let them register y'all. Y'all register your card, and then they will decide to give me 30%. Does it make any sense? Even my first grade jury, they will understand that one that makes sense. What is sense in that one there, my people? Even if you're entity that do not think a problem, and you're supposed to improve it so you can maximize profit and benefit. That sensible thing happening in the country, they won't look at. They will not look at a demon and just sit down on our leader and they just, you know, I know what what can happen with power, with people in power. Like something and just sit down on their thinking and they just doing something that they just going. Even when people talking sense, they seeing the reality, they seeing the truth, they think the person talking sense inside, they seeing that they think they're doing wrong. But then they can just continue going and just going like cut head chicken. You know when they cut it, when you cut a chicken here, you leave it around, it just running every because there is no head. Now how the whole deal looking? Now how you looking, my people? 777-700 995 555 995 995. The numbers to call. Okay. This one says, we are whom they said they didn't know anything, rejected our agreement. Yeah. The man said, what? Oh. Someone from the legislature says they brought the money and few people at the legislature danced in it. Currently, there is noise. Hey, LRB. Welcome. And let's hear you.
Hello, Julius.
Yes, go ahead.
Julius, this is Blake. I'm calling to ask whether it is not possible for you, Julius, to be able to call the authority on the program to answer some questions. Because I think there are more questions than answers as it relates to this deal. Right? This is the government that we support, and we have said it over and again that when we sense that things are not right, we are going to make our voice as loud as it can be for the president to hear it. I don't think
Joseph,
yeah.
You don't think if these authorities knew that they really were accountable to the people they have taken on to media platforms now, if this was really good and okay and by law and everything, they will try to come out and really explain this? Would they need invitations?
Well, Julius, that is one thing I think. I heard on a number of occasions that...
Because me, personally, I have made efforts, but they are not forthcoming. You don't even hear the company itself saying anything. It is the police that can advertise them.
Yeah, so then we can call the police authority to speak to it, right? But we need, and Julius, let me say this. I don't think this will work. I am 100% sure that this wouldn't work. Because there will be ramifications that the citizens will have to clean up. we have to stand up for the good of our country. Anything that takes a job from Liberians is not in the good interest of our country. Anything that seeks to take a job from Liberians can never be opposed by us democratically. We need to always put our nation first. That is the nationalistic spirit that we are calling for. We are calling in a quiet tone, in a humble tone, for the authority to give us explanation. If it's because the transport ministry does not have the capacity, let us build their capacity. Let us build our human resource. Then to trust it away, if we say transport ministry is not living up to its standards, if they are not able to provide whatever logistics there need to be, can we build that capacity? Can we build their human capacity? Can we build that and better it up than to destroy it? We cannot cripple our nation because of foreign interest.
Okay.
Despite what we support or who we support, or we would not play. And there's the difference between us, the Unity Party guys, and probably the CDC people. They were not able to tell the government the wrong. I am a bona fide Unity Party man. I'm saying this deal is a bad deal.
Okay.
I'm saying it without favor and fear. I can say that without favor and fear.
Thanks so kindly, Joseph Blake. Let's see who's on this side, and we transition to something else very important as well. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Julius. My name is Clifford Russell, and I call from Monrovia. Thanks for having me on your show today. You see, one of the reasons we have had so many challenges in our country is because we have lacked and we haven't implemented public-private partnership. Public-private partnership is indeed a very effective way through which government delivers, public service efficiently to our citizens and others within a country. Now, don't get me wrong. Outsourcing certain functions is very important. I, for one person, I stated out on my Facebook page, but outsourcing it, when you outsource this kind of function, the problem that I have is you be outsourced to a Liberian company. So let's take, for example, do you see what's happening in Nimba County? The transmission and distribution function of EDC was being outsourced to Jonko or Energy. If you go to Nimba County today, Nimba has one of the most reliable and efficient service delivery when it comes to meter. So when people living in Nimba do not need to struggle for meter, because Jonko Energy Power knows that they need money, they need to generate revenue. So everything that is needed is being placed there, and that's exactly what this whole thing is about. It is for efficient delivery. The people at Transport Ministry who are protesting, are doing so because they didn't take their job from them. They didn't fire them. They didn't sack them. They are still working at Ministry of Transport.
Working as what? Working as what?
They are working. If for any reason they'll be reassigned.
So I'm asking you now, Chivo. I allow you to talk, so I'm asking you questions now. Working as what?
They are still working in their capacity as employee of the Ministry of Transport.
Okay. But the revenue component of this LTMI and the government, what do you understand about it?
Now, the revenue component, even though I do not have access to the full documentation, but I believe when it comes to public-private partnership, it is always based on...
Is this public-private is this due a public-private partnership?
Definitely so.
No, it is not. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it, Clifford. Stop it. Stop it. It is a concession. It is a concession as referenced by the Justice Minister. It is not a public-private partnership. No partnership in that thing. Yeah, the one that existed with the Ministry of Transport and MDMC, where MDMC were placed under the Ministry of Transport, is the public-private partnership. Thanks so kindly. I thought you actually knew about what you were talking, but I can understand. Yeah. Let's just leave that one there now. It is no public-private partnership. Okay. I think we'll hold it on this one now. Let's go to something else. This person says, let me read a few messages. The only sense such an agreement makes is to enrich the police IG and other few senior government officials within the executive. Imagine outsourcing your license plate and license data to foreigners. This is a serious security and safety breach. I don't mean say public-private partnership. What we need to do is to get a leadership that works for us who are considered below the acceptable few. I don't even have a car, but people who we sometimes seek assistance from are complaining to this extent. How can we survive? Voting is never an option for me again in this country anymore. Blamo Zewe, and he's someone I know and I heavily supported the current administration. Santos Afra says, Julius, you claim to be a true fact check journalist, but you are yet to provide the fact check on the auditors who were killed during the CDC government. Your fact check is one-sided. So what does the evidence say now? And we reported what the evidence said, and some of you said no, it was not true, it was something else. Especially at that time you were in opposition, and the government has come to power now, and the government said they were reopening the case. So the case is reopened. Let them provide the facts, and we will also provide it. Jerry, a better message. Man, it can be hurt when you're saying truth. How truth looking, it can hurt, but you gotta. Yeah. This point says, the people brought voodoo and charmed everyone. I can read your messages, and the one that I can deal with me, I can read everything. Because me, I'm Lasana Sharif, Julius, you always talk, tire. That deal is already done and dusted. If you want, protest till the end of time. Believe it or not, absolutely nothing will change the outcome of your advocacy regarding the government decision on this matter. Period. Okay. 70%, Martin Chucky, 5%, Uncle B policeman, 15%, Uncle B lawyer, 15%, some B people, 45%. What was the person talking? Kenneth Mohammed, that's why I don't bother voting in this country. I never trusted politicians in this country. Okay, let me take this quick. Let me take this very quick break and let's take this very quick one. Let's continue with the World Bank later here.
Improve equitable access and equality of secondary education nationwide. It aimed to impact secondary school-age students and teachers in all 15 counties. 6 years of hard work has paid off, and that's part of why we're here today to celebrate. The project has had wide impacts, improving learning conditions for over 150 senior secondary schools, awarding scholarships, recruiting, training, and deploying female guidance counselors in 156 schools, improving the quality of teaching, and producing and distributing first Liberian-produced This happened, as I mentioned, because of a lot of effort over time. Hearty thanks to all who have contributed, including the World Bank team and my colleague Binta is here. And huge kudos to Honorable Minister Jala and the MOE team, the Ministry of Education team, for their instrumental work in seeing all of this to successful and timely completion. These are very exciting results, but they're only inputs. What matters most is that Liberia's young people can seize the opportunity to get the education they need to unlock their own future. Young people, I see some of you back there. We believe in you. You are the bright, prosperous, and
Okay, welcome back. Others trust us. They believe in us. We have to believe in ourselves. So, one quick thing. Liberia has vast resources. And one of the things Representative Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala said at the let's leave all that thing. The other boys are calling Tifa. No, he's not Tifa. The other boys were happy with him. They happy with we thought all that one that they critique there. Yeah, let's leave all that one. Whether he was TiVo, whether he was not TiVo, whether he stayed TiVo, whether he stayed TiVo. Yeah. Let's leave all of that. Yeah. Let's leave that for now. But there is a critical point that I want us to honestly look at. It has to do with resources. He made a statement. I want to play what he said from OKFM page. I want to play that, even though we have the quote, but I wanted to play so that we hear it about the Wologisi Mountain. You know, Lothians have been very, very mean and protective of that Wologisi there. You know, they let me not say mean, but very protectionistic, beyond protective. When you are protectionistic of a thing, you are beyond protective of it. So let's listen to what he had to say.
Today we are all here. If not all seven, please stand calling if we are here. The two senators, all of the representatives. We are representing this country. Now it is true we bring down to dedicate this project. I want to use this medium, Mr. President, to formally or informally petition you on behalf of the people of Lofa County. That's what the Constitution provides. The 300,000+ people cannot speak for themselves. They must pass it through us. And that's why they elected us. And we have built serious consultations along with our chiefs and elders, opinion leaders. And we have nothing in Lofa County, Mr. President. Our only measure, that one of the young kids said, resource that we have in this county, it's time for it to be neutralized for the benefit of our people. If Kevin Wologisi will cost us to get this road all the way to Medicoma, give out Wologisi. Listen to Thomas Fala. If Kevin Wologisi will give us the biggest referral hospital, please give Wologisi. Mr. President, if Kevin Wologisi will give us the biggest tertiary education for our children, give Wologisi. Mr. President, if Kevin Wologisi will provide job opportunity for the young folks, Mr. President, you have 100% our support.
Okay, giving Wologisi. A journalist is reporting since an hour plus now, travelers are held at Clay checkpoint on the order of the securities that the president is en route to Topmanburg. This new measure is embarrassing. Melushi Roberts of Puma FM has posted that. I don't know. I know Taylor time that used to happen. In fact, sometimes you have 2, 3, 4, 5 hours before Taylor goes somewhere, it will be clear. All of that. I don't know what the security people know, but I don't know. Ellen was there. I'm not sure we had a system where, because the first group of people that started complaining when the president was going to bong at the weekend. I saw a whole lot of posts from journalists and all that people were stuck for hours. I think to clear the road should be clear. Nobody should be on the road. Usually, the converse and you park on the side, and the president passes, the president goes, and then everybody else starts to go. Even in town here, I have even noticed now that they can clear way ahead of time before the president starts coming. I don't know what they know, but I hope it is done, taking into consideration that other people have to move as well. After the war, there was Ellen, there was Weir, I'm not sure we had those kinds of measures at 1 or 2 hours before the president goes somewhere. No car will be on the road and people will be parked and all of that. Well, whatever the case is, I know with children coming up in Plebo, Taylor was supposed to go to Maryland. I don't know where Taylor was at the time, but you could not cross the road in Plebo. You could not cross it. Taylor was not in Plebo. Taylor was not in the territorial confines of Maryland. He had not entered Maryland. In fact, it was the next day before Taylor reached Maryland. So it is possible Taylor was somewhere in Grange there or maybe Nimba or whatsoever. But you could not cross road in Plebo. So let's come back to what I wanted to hear from you about. I will do an analysis tomorrow, but I want to hear you. You know, sometimes I like to do this, to hear from you, the people. What do you make of the Deputy Speaker's statement? If giving Wologisi will give us a road, give it out. That is to concession it. Give it to concessionaires. Let them come. Because I know the Wologisi, but they king of small. We are time. Oh! Lofa people resist that. They didn't want to hear it. I don't know. So I want to hear from you. Tomorrow, it will form part of our analysis, and Dr. Adesinan's statement on today. They are tied in together some kind of way. So let's go. 777-700-995. That's the only number. The other number not sounding. Yep. Welcome.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Julius.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Julius has sent a message, but he didn't respond. I'm the Secretary General of the Painter Driver Association. I just want to make some statement pertaining to our first talking point.
No, we finished with that one there now. So let's do the other one. Let's do it next time. Yeah, let's talk about what we want to talk about now. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Julius.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Prince Kotima, and I'm from my FGA community.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the statement made by Thomas Farah, I'm from Lofa, I'm from Yela. So I think the statement made by Thomas Farah is something welcoming. But I hope that statement is coming from the entire citizenry of Lofa County, because I think the Wologisi is one of our resources that we are hold in high esteem. So since now we are all ushering and pushing for development, I think it is necessary that we now give the Wologisi Mountain out for concession. But our main problem is the company that will be taking over Wologisi Mountain. The government should make sure that every agreement that will be in the MDA shall be implemented. We won't be like other counties today. There is a whole value for us as locals. I think we want every MDA that will be put into pen and paper should be executed. Thank you so much, studio.
Thanks so kindly. Welcome. Let's hear you. Hello. I would also like to hear from people who are of Lofa origin. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Emmanuel Wanake. I'm from 16th Street, Cinco.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad thing, but the deputy speaker spoke as if to say, that place for Lofa County. He forgot to know that every inch of this country is owned by the government of Liberia, or else the Nimba will be claiming that how they call it, something and my people will be claiming, So I just pray and hope that, because during the CDC administration, they get touched on it, though. Everybody, no, it can't happen. Is it supposed to happen on a particular government or a particular party, or what? So when it's not timely, please, we don't want you pushing anything here so that we can, run into another problem again. Thank you.
Thanks so kindly as well. Like I said, tomorrow we'll do analysis. I'd like to hear from you on some things without...
Yes,
go ahead, let's hear you.
Yeah, with the issue of the discussion right now, I'm going to be frank with you. It's brilliant and it is good for the J school. But there's something I really want to know from you, because you being one of the educators of the youth, the young people of your age time now, and you are getting the information
they are paramount for us who are far from radio. Sometimes we listen just by the whole of cook. Now, with respect to now, we are not discussing the first talking point, but there's something you strike that really touched my mind, and that issue has to do with the leakage or maybe the information that fellow or whoever gave you a closed when you say the confidence of someone. And you don't think that person sound like a whistleblower to you, and you are like putting it in hands way?
But who will know who the person is? You can never. That wouldn't make it disclose the person, and I can never do it. So anyway,
now,
thanks.
So that is the point, because that's been one of my fears, because when you give it, that one makes some of us we want to blow whistles, but then we are afraid because many people
no listen, trust me. You see me, you see Clarence Jackson, a few other media people that I know, people in opposition, in government, they trust us. All of them gave us information because they know. Even people that gave me information, Clarence will not even know who. People that gave Clarence information, Clarence can never even tell me the two of us at work at the same place. So you are very safe. We're very trained to that one.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things we may see with the issue of a lot of things that are happening in our society. So you get afraid and you think that when you call a journalist, you tell you the man will come out and call your name, and then you be wished for by other people tomorrow. So the issue of I heard you talking about Wologisi, right?
Yep.
Okay. So Wologisi, that place is going to be a very heated topic tomorrow under the discussion, because all the Lufians, trust me, we're going to fall and give our input and tell you that play will not just be given to just anybody just because you give in the name of investing.
Thanks so kindly.
Something tangible that will benefit not just the country but the country at large.
Thanks so kindly, sir, for your call. Let's go international. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, okay, FM, this is Zaza.
Zaza who?
I'm Emmanuel Zaza, but
Okay.
I'm not to be called by my last name.
Okay, and you calling from where?
I'm calling from Ohio.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I've been trying since morning. But on the issue of this mountain, according to Nordic Africa News, Wologisi is worth over $50 billion.
50 billion, not million.
Billion.
Yeah.
With a B, 50 with a B.
Mm-hmm.
And that is from the Nordic Africa News. It's NORDRC, Nordic Africa. Go to that website and put it Wologisi.
Mm-hmm.
That mountain is worth over 50 billion. That is over that amount. That's such a mountain which is a reserve and worth all that thing should be a national discussion. It should be something that a country should decide.
Okay.
So I think it is politics. Better take it from the politics and take it to the aspect.
Okay.
So it will be structured in a way that the country will benefit. That's what I want to say on that.
Thanks. Thanks so kindly. Let's take the second to last one. Our guest is in. Welcome. Let's hear you. What's your name? Where do you stand? Wologisi, give it or not give it? I'm fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Kofa calling from Clarendon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we talking about foreign investors to come and again is traditionally talking about a company they will give for the company to do SYZ. The government can use that will give and bring machine and establish a whole company here.
Hello? You went off by yourself. Let's take the final one. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Julius.
Mm-hmm.
T. Benjamin Myers.
Go ahead, Benjamin.
Yeah, so the question of giving Wologisi out should not be a matter of soliciting public opinion on it, because it is evident that other countries had to make the ultimate sacrifice for the country to be developed to a certain extent. So if it is local countries' turn to make that sacrifice, I don't think they're going to be standing in the way. But what is important is the question of whether we're going to give Wologisi out on the same terms that we did in the 60s with Bomi
Hills, with the Lamco, and subsequently the ArcelorMittal deal.
Why you won't start reading from a book?
Yeah. Oh. So if we're going to give it out on those terms, then there where the problem would be.
And don't you think that's how the lawmaker sounds?
They may sound like that, but
no, I mean Thomas Fafala, the way he sounded, you don't think he's sounding like because we need this, like give it up, we need a big road.
And that's how it sounds, and I'm not surprised that he will be sounding that way. But we are quite aware that public opinions have a way of influencing public policy outcomes. So it is necessary for us to give it out on a far more different terms than we did in the 60s.
Okay.
Because it was the same mistake that Singapore referenced in their research after they came to do a research on why an African nation was booming so much economically. So we need to be giving these resources out on a percentage basis. 60, 40, 30, 70, or we can give all of our resources out, especially Wologisi Mountain that worth 50 billion, is estimated at 50 billion. We need to have a percentage that will go directly to the country's development as opposed to giving it out and just sitting back and collecting royalties that will do nothing for the country.
Okay.
That is my take.
Thanks so kindly. Let's take a very quick break. Senator Amrakone is already in our studios. Let's take this quick one with one of our sponsors here. And we appreciate him for accepting our invite just less than a week after being here. You know, when the issues are hot, you go for the people who make them hot. Yeah, so okay.
Your favorite RLJ Kendeja Resort and Villas is new and improved with top-notch first-class services guaranteed to make you feel pampered and special as our royal guests. Ideally located on the RI Highway, a few minutes drive from the rehab junction, right in front of the Atlantic Ocean, you are assured of a peaceful, serene atmosphere of a home away from home. The ingredients for our Liberian meals are freshly picked from our garden to give you that unforgettable taste of Liberian cuisine. Our villas are designed and equipped to ensure every night spent with us is a memorable one. We are well positioned to host conferences and seminars of all sizes, as well as outdoor events like garden weddings and parties. Book your upcoming events and leave the rest for us to handle with 100% satisfaction guarantee. You can reach us on 0770-533-415 or email us at reservations@kendejaresort.com.lr. Visit our website on www.rljkendejaresort.com.lr. RLJ Kendeja Resort and Villas, for memories worth repeating.
Indeed, go there and make yourself feel comfortable. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. We have Senator Amrakone. Senator, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Julius. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I understand people are on a 5-day extension after the house closed before you can close?
Yes, we closed. Technically, we closed last week, but the President pro tempore asked us to stay for an additional 5 days, which is, I think, allowed under the Constitution and our rules to finish our business.
I have some radical thoughts about I don't know. I don't think the legislature should be going on break totally. Yeah, maybe you all could take the same 1 month leave intermittently at different times. I don't know.
Well, you know, I think that will require a constitutional amendment.
Sure, but let me read you something from Spoon TV.
Okay.
Since our reporter hasn't got us, but do you know Dr. Adesina?
Yes, president of the African Development Bank, and he became president when I was Minister of Finance, and I voted for him on behalf of Liberia. So I know him very well.
So let me read something to you and hear what you think. He said, Spoon wrote, in front of President Boakai in a thunderous charge that pierced through bureaucratic comfort zones African Development Bank President and Nigeria's former Agriculture Minister Dr. Akinwumi Adesina delivered a blistering wake-up call to members of President Joseph Human Boyka's administration, declaring, if you don't want to be a minister, don't ask for the job. Dr. Adesina's straightforward declaration came during the ongoing high-level expanded cabinet meeting and the official launch of the Liberia Youth Entrepreneurship Investment Bank, YEIB, on Tuesday, July 22, 2025, at the EGS Ministerial Complex. He said the ongoing initiative aimed at transforming youth-led innovation and private sector development. The AFDB president, known for his uncompromising development leadership across the continent, minced no words in warning Liberian government officials to, in quote, get serious or get out.
Wow.
If you
Well,
tell...
in session, I'm just hearing that. Did he say that?
Yeah, get serious or get out. If you tell the president something, it must happen, and learn to hold yourselves accountable. He admonished government officials while discussing budgeting and sustainable targets for development. He revealed that Liberia's time for lip service is over and action is now the only acceptable currency. You asked for the opportunity to serve. Now serve. This country needs transformation, not decoration. No more excuses. Dr. Adesina drawing strong applause from the audience. With President Boyka seated alongside him, Dr. Adesina challenged cabinet ministers and top public officials to stop chasing titles and start delivering results for a nation still healing from years of underdevelopment, misgovernance, and youth unemployment. Some officials of government who are currently part of the program are Speaker Richard Kuhn, Finance Minister Augustine Kafwan, Agriculture Minister, blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
What do you think?
Well, I'm not surprised because Dr. Adesina is known for being blunt. It was his bluntness, in addition to his experience and education, that really made him successful as agriculture minister for Africa's most populous country, Nigeria, which created the base for Nigeria to advocate for the presidency of the African Development Bank, since it is one of the largest funders of the bank. But as you are reading this, I'm thinking, what if a Liberian has said this? You will see both sides of the aisle now interpreting that in their own ways politically, without thinking about the message, the crux of the message and the country, but to attack the messenger in ways that they meet the expectations of their political organization. So I'm beginning to think gradually, I'm not there yet, that perhaps the two-party system in our country needs to be looked at, and maybe a viable tariff force, as some of our people are better than that.
Before we get
but the country is becoming more polarized between the supporters of these two parties.
Do you think he has evidence that these things he's critiquing, or these different charges he's giving to these ministers, are actually there are problems existing currently?
No, you don't need evidence. He's heading one of the biggest development bank in Africa and one of the premier development banks in the world. All right. Regionally, this is Africa's development bank. And he does not talk out of vacuum. He looks at numbers. People like Dr. Adesina, have data on all of the countries in Africa. Just beyond the data, they also have political intelligence on governance and other things, other issues confronting a country. You don't need to be brief on that. You enter the country, you look at the data, and therefore you speak because you have intelligence. You know what makes America successful in the world? They have superior intelligence about countries and regions so that they can act. And it's hard for people to challenge them, except in rare cases like the WMD in Iraq and so on. But data intelligence is important, and economic intelligence is one of the things that the AFDB does well.
Okay. Now, days ago, 5 days ago, you wrote this that sparked a whole lot of writings on social media. It was like a call to action piece, and different responses, different agreements. And you said, now that the debate about yesterday's protest and crowd size is over, I hope we can focus on the important issues affecting our country. The truth quietly watches our self-deception since 1980. It doesn't protest or make noise. Those who oppose us often reveal truths that supporters might miss. We lie to protect ourselves, but we usually speak honestly when we disagree. Yesterday may not have been a good day for the protesters, according to regime supporters, but I hope our government hears their complaints. A silent majority didn't feel the need to protest yesterday, maybe because of its leaders, but will protest at the polls in 2029 if they don't see the government making a difference in their lives. They say we can ignore reality, but we cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. Remember, we had stable macroeconomics before the 2023 elections. While we are making sturdy progress now, times are still tough for families. Don't trust those who only say good things about you or a situation. Why did you write this?
Well, I was coming from a position of honest reaction to the way some of my own friends and political allies were reacting to our fellow citizens who feel that they needed to express their disagreements with the government. And people trivialize that, and I can understand the politics of, when we did the June 7 in 2018, the crowd size was larger than this one, blah, 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 and all of that. This is all politics. But I was coming from the point where we needed to listen to them. We needed to know what their grievances were. Some of them, up to now, I don't even know what they are. Some of the grievances may be genuine and some may be trivial, but the leaders of the country should make that determination. And that's number one. Number two, we live in a country where the opportunity for work is limited, and government is the place where everybody gravitates to for employment. So there are some people out there who will say things in support of the government, hoping that they will be recognized one day and given jobs. They may not necessarily be telling the truth, but it's their way of job hunting to land somewhere. In that case, those who disagree with us at that time, in my view, are people we should listen to as well, because they may be telling us things that those who support us, and hopefully we expect to be rewarded for their support, may not be telling us. That's number one. Number two, we went through a difficult election. It's very rare in the history of Africa, in African elections, to unseat an incumbent. I've been looking all around for this. It's difficult. Liberia did that. And Liberia did that because, of the mistakes of the CDC government under former President Weah. I was in this very studio, I recall, in 2022 when I returned home, and people called and asked, and I said that there was macroeconomic stability. We're beginning to see it after, big missteps in the beginning of the Weah administration. Remember when Eaton and Ibomaf then came here, they suspended the IMF program for over a year, and the consequences of that suspension impacted, the economy severely, because the IMF program was not there, and then next thing you know, they are They are operating everywhere, hoping to take advantage of the populous, politics that brought them to power. Next thing you know, inflation went over 20%. Exchange rate here was out of the roof. Then you have the container gate. You have all that stuff happening. But what really happens is that after elections, you see inflation and the exchange rate, fluctuating, because during election there's a lot of Liberian dollars that are infused into the economy. So you will feel that after the election. It takes special effort to map that out. The $25 million map-up exercise that went, that became controversial and all of that. So for the first 2 to 3 years, the CDC government struggled, and then COVID came. Exactly. Thank you for that. And then when they finally accepted the IMF program, and which brought some discipline into economic governance, we started to see some stability in the economy. This is where I was coming from. But guess what? The damage had been done. And the impact of that stability was not being felt by the population, in addition to the missteps in political governance, going after your opponent, all these killings that happened. People were accusing the government of killing people in the government with all its resources and power, could not put together a special prosecutor to look into this, to vindicate them, was a big mistake. So fear gripped this town. Everybody was afraid. By 6 o'clock, people going home, everybody already thought that the government was after people who criticized them. So I was saying, in 2018, June 6, all of us supported that protest.
That's June 7.
June 7, I'm sorry. That was led by my friend and brother, Henry Costa. It was very successful and so on. This protest may have been different and may have been, led by different people, but yet they had some genuine grievances that the government needed to listen to. And I just wanted our people to be open-minded and channel those grievances to the president for action. And I reminded them that even though today we see stability economic-wise, but we're not out of the woods yet.
No.
And with all of that, we're able to defeat the CDC. And I just want to make sure that in addition to the stability we see, we can now focus, like President Adesina said today, that the ministers, those who are responsible for implementation, are really focusing on targeting our people.
Before we go to other questions surrounding all of those, is there evidence from the past, whether you were a minister or whatsoever, that you provided these kinds of cautions, whether internally or publicly? Were there times that you said...
that's an interesting question. I became a minister in 2008, I believe August, Minister of Planning and Economic Affairs. And I'm forever be grateful to President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf for giving me the opportunity. When we went there and we did our recruitment and brought in all these talented young people, the Moalis of the world and others, to help, what we did was to create county development officers and reach out to the UNDP to fund them. And we deployed them to the counties and assigned them to the superintendents. And they became like the planning ministers or the planning coordinators in each county. And we developed the county development agenda linked to the poverty reduction strategy. But we did not have any role in implementation. So by 2010, 2 years after rolling out the PRS, people forget, but we used to have something here called the Lift Liberia Poverty Reduction Strategy back in 2008 up until 2011. After 2 years, I initiated an evaluation of the implementation of the PRS through our county development officers. The reports came back and the results were dismal, 18% implementation rate. So I started to think, how do we present this information so that we are not seen as anti-government, the very government we are working in? Everybody was afraid. So I met with President Sirleaf. I showed her the result. She, just like the president spoke today, President Adesina, she was shocked. And I said to her, well, we have two options. We keep our mouth shut, or we present this to colleagues in cabinet. People will feel uncomfortable. They may come after me. And then, you the president, what do you think? She said, present it to cabinet. Everybody needs to know what's happening. And after cabinet, go to MICAT. Larry Brupler was the minister at the time.
Mhm.
Go to MICAT and hold a press conference and release this result. That way everybody knows that the accountability is on them. The public was expecting them. I'm the president. I appointed all of you. But, the public needs to also get involved in all of it. If people recall, we did that. We did a cabinet meeting as expected. Some ministers were not happy about the results. People started contesting. They started challenging the methodology and so on. I went to MICAT. I did the announcement. And then we recalibrated the implementation of the PRS. My brother Gafon was Minister of Finance. It also helped him to see what was happening, to help him in terms of, fiscal management, disbursement, and so on. By the time we got to 2011 elections, people were working left and right. Even with all that work we did, we were not able to get 50+1, a first-round victory. So it is from this experience that, I was trying to offer advice to my friends in the UP that, look, we've been around, and this country is mostly an opposition country. People are anti-establishment here, no matter what you do. But besides that, the population is growing at an astronomical rate of 2.4% approximately every year. The economy is growing below 6%. So when you really look at it, your output is not sufficient to address the needs of everybody unless you do serious reforms to begin to push for double-digit growth to cover a lot of space economically. So to answer your question, yes, I have done this before. And those who know me know that I don't like dishonesty in policy making, so people think I'm arrogant. But I come to the conversation with numbers. It is left with the leaders to use the numbers to make progress.
Well, some of them will think, why couldn't you do it internally? They think by always coming public and perhaps critiquing the government that you helped to bring to power is like ridiculing. It's like bringing it to public disrepute. It's like undermining.
Well, it's important to know that late in the 2023 election, sometime around late August, we decided to, with all the infighting in the Unity Party, we decided to support the CDC. I think this is an open secret. And they won. And then during governance, they started to ignore our advice. And in some cases, people, those who were around Mr. Weir...
But then your support was not open.
Of course, it was not open because I was working for the World Bank.
Okay.
Yeah. So people started to tell me, so we don't listen to that man. You bring him around here, he's going to control you, blah, blah. You see how you control Ellie? It's talk like that, small talk like that. So we left them. We did the support without any quid pro quo. And then we left them. And then they were making all kinds of mistakes here. We tried to reach out to them. They thought we wanted, to be relevant. And so we went public and started criticizing them together with our UP friends who were in our opposition. There are some friends in the UP who joked me for 6 years they were responsible for what was happening in the CDC. Some of them are listening, but we took the joke. But in reality, there were some regrets there because of the way things were happening. So when the opportunity came for us to course correct, we decided to reintegrate with our side to have this victory. But then you can only offer advice when the space is created for you to offer advice privately, through the regular chain. But when that is not there, I am an elected official. My commitment first is to the people who elected me, to the country, not to any individual. And as a national leader, I can either shut up and keep getting paid and do nothing for 9 years, go back to the people if I want to, or retire. I'm a professional, a consummate professional with a lot of connections. I can do other things with the rest of my life. But that's not the reason for public service. So when you advise publicly, when you go on the floor and argue these things and nothing is happening, you need to be able to channel your support in a way that it gets everybody's attention. And this is where I'm coming from.
Well, as something you're
and
trying
there are times, for example, in the case of the yellow machine issue, I got text messages. I contacted ministers in the Ministry of State, Information, Public Works, and so on. Nobody could tell me anything. And that's when I said, okay, I have to stand up for Liberia.
You were very close to the president. I remember you were the first person to take him out to the U.S. and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
To be shut out like that sounds a little strange to me.
Yeah.
Given the fact that you were the late dialing boy of the elections.
Sure, and like I said to you, this is my second tour of public service to my country. The first time I came, I was green, basically naive about politics. But one thing I did not lose sight of is who I am. You know, I left from here when I was young. The foundation of my public service happened in an environment where honesty is the hallmark, meritocracy, and so on. And so, yes, there's politics, but I try to balance politics with some of my own training in terms of being blunt about how I see things. I realize that in this culture, when you do that, people see you as a know-it-all, that you don't have, you don't respect other people. You know, you talk as if you know everything, like some people will say. But where I was trained professionally, and I don't talk about it much, which is in the U.S., this is there, you know, your boss, whatever, you can have conversation with them. You can tell them the truth about what's happening in the organization because you are paid to add value, you know, but not to see something wrong and then you keep quiet about it. So in the case of post-election, I made a decision to myself that this tour here, I was not coming here to fight with anybody for proximity. I did that too much during the Ellington, and it exhausted me. And I left. I went and spent 7 years at the World Bank and came back. I was going to do my best to support whoever was in Liberia's best interest without any expectation, without any quid pro quo. And if that person appreciates the value that I add to the organization, I will continue to do that. But when people start to fight, there was no need to get into a bloodbath for proximity and so on and so forth. So it's a personal decision. It's good for my mental health, and I don't blame anybody for it. If I wanted to stay, I could stay and fight. But at this stage in my life, I'm grateful to God for what He has done for me. I don't need to fight people for the good of my country.
There are some who think you've adopted this centrist role to curry favor from the opposition, especially the CDC, especially when you talked about macroeconomic stability in 2023 and all that kind of stuff. You're making the UP to appear somehow because they seem to be putting you down.
Yeah.
So you might likely be finding new friends and favor from the CDC and the opposition.
No, the people who are, I don't need praise from anybody. I think both sides were trying to politicize my position.
Because even former Minister Tuweb praised you that that is how the politics should be, numbers, and people should be saying the truth.
Yeah, a high-level government official forwarded me what he wrote, and I read it. And I said to myself, I wish he had not done it because it comes across as me trying to make the case for the CDC and all of its shortcomings. That was not my intention. My intention was to warn my friends who are now at the helm of running our state. How do you criticize METEC and you come in and you don't do anything about it? There are new players.
Yeah, I was definitely coming there.
Aha.
Things that you
there are new
critiqued.
relationships and so on. How do you criticize the Monrovia to Topmanbury Highway with all the trucks that are on there hauling minerals to our port and shipping them during the CDC regime, and almost 2 years later there are no changes? How do you criticize? How do you implement the whole the contract at the Transport Ministry for driver licenses and something that the President Weah government signed but did not implement? How do you come now and implement that? How do you open the door to Zoom Lion, a Ghanaian company, to come and clean our poo-poo and our trash for us here? Liberians can't do that. I don't think that's what we came together for, to remove that government.
In fact, on the motor transport thing,
Yes.
the Weah's office argues that it was not what he signed.
Aha.
What he signed
Okay,
did not
so-
include a
correct.
driver's license and vehicle
yeah,
registration.
that's being implemented now. You know, APM terminal, I got no problem with them, but they've been here since the end of the war. Are you telling me that all this time we did not build the capacity in the port to manage the work that they are doing, and we are concessioning the entire country? People will say, well, you were finance minister, what did you do? Let me tell you something. It's been 20 plus years since the end of the war. The economic management model post-conflict, immediately post-conflict, was necessary to attract investors. 20 years later, we should have a different model that put Liberians in a driver's seat, and this is not a political statement, that put Liberians in a driver's seat so that all that money that these people are making and taking out of the country can remain right here, and that's how you will impact the ordinary citizen, because those who will have these concessions among us. But guess what? We don't like each other. We hate each other. The statement that President Adesina made today, had a Liberian made that. I remember when our sister Lima Bowie talked about opposition, this position, that speech she made, she came under attack, you know, because she was a Liberian, but she spoke the truth. The statement that President Adesina made today, the president of the African Development Bank, I can guarantee you, if it was a Liberian, he would be under attack right now.
In fact, he also stated
Yeah.
that and Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister Ibrahim Nye posted that. Let me read, because it jives with exactly where you were going. Okay. So he said Liberia must end the export of raw materials.
Yeah.
The export of raw materials is a door to poverty.
Yeah.
When you negotiate concessions, negotiate in your own interest, not in the interest of others.
Yes.
Dr. Adesina said this as well at that program.
Yeah, so let's agree that maybe Liberians don't have the capital to do the kind of intensive work that these companies are doing in the mining sector. But hey man, to clean poo-poo, to clean the street, to manage telecom gateway, to clear customs, to manage containers in the port and so on, and we are not able to do that? Are you telling me that we don't have Liberians who can do that? So, you know, I didn't say that in my post. And when I showed the numbers, I was just saying, look at the number in 2023, but the people didn't care because it was not impacting them. Look at your number in 2024. They are marginal increases. You're not out of the woods yet. You don't have 6 years anymore. We don't. I too am responsible for this government, for its success. Whether I'm consulted or not, whether they see me as their friend or not, I play a role to usher in this government. And if by keeping quiet makes me complicit. So we have to remind each other, hopefully constructively, that we got to roll up our sleeves. We are in the legislature. We got our own issues there. People don't think that we're making laws, etc., but we're working. But at the end of the day, the executive, the one that implements these things, you know, so that they can impact our people. Now, is the government making progress? Absolutely, and I said that in my post. There's progress, and the progress is slow because you don't have 3 million people anymore in 2008. You have close to 6 million now. but your growth rate is 5%. And you need to double that. People say, well, when you're Minister of Finance, how come you didn't double it? That's true. But we got close to it. We got up to 9% one year. Okay, back then. They say, well, UNMIL was here and all of that, fine. But we've made the investment from the presence of UNMIL here to create stability in the security sector mainly, and also to make the investments in the economy. For example, electricity, road connectivity is far better off today than they were 20 years ago. There was no electricity here. 0 megawatts also generator was in this country. Now you have, electricity is getting stable and so on. Are we connecting the productive sector of the economy in order to increase the growth rate to that double digit that we are talking about? You have approximately 80,000 young people entering the labor force every year in this country. No jobs. You have drugs that is eating away our future. This government came based on the promise to the Liberian people that
drug was one of the major campaign issues.
Yes, but look at what's happening. Again, this is not to take away from the something. For example, we have to give the president credit, and I said it the other day at the intercessory service that, look, those who were questioning President Buckey's experience, I believe, in my humble opinion, that he is the most prepared person to come to the presidency based on his experience. From managing director of FPMC to agriculture to LPRC, vice president for 12 years. He is the most prepared of everybody. I stand to be corrected. From J.J. Robert all the way to President Salif to run the country. He knows how the legislature works. He knows how the executive works and so on. So look at what he did recently, the reconciliation. To me, that's spot on. And only a wise leader can do that. Other people had the opportunity to do it, they didn't do it. And this is a good thing. But at the end of the day, it's about bread and butter, Julius. And this is where I hope the president's economic team can work with him and support him so that the bread and butter issues are corrected. Otherwise, people will blame all of us, for their woes in this country.
Let me bring up two issues from the legislature. One is an issue of audit.
Yeah.
There are people who think, some of you come as these moral voices, but you've not done well in the legislature in terms of ensuring that you are audited. That's one. Two, there is this thought that your committee, the joint one, spent over $1 million plus for committee hearings and all of that.
Yeah.
What explanation can you provide for
I'm glad you asked this question. In the legislature, we work through committees. When I first came, you recall the Buchanan retreat, and I tried to be a lone ranger there, and next thing you know, my colleagues were not happy. So I started to realize that you work through committees and consensus. Let me tell you about the Joint Public Account Committee and the transfer line in the budget to the Joint Public Account Secretariat. We have a secretariat at the legislature just like the LBO, the Legislative Budget Office.
Oh.
Yes! That secretariat was created to support the legislature, to summarize.
So that means you have people working there that are paid.
If I may give you the number, 26.
26 people?
26 librarians and about 10 consultants working there for $735,000 year round. Every month, the government spends $61,000 to pay them to do their work. It's not for committee hearing. What are we doing with $1 million to go do hearing? We're hearing where? But as part of the operation also, when you call people for hearing, you got to give them water. And when you run through lunch, you got to serve lunch. So the secretariat takes care of that. It's not us senators.
So
it's unfortunate.
It is not you, the senators, that manage that.
No, it's unfortunate. Finance has the record. Finance does. Finance ministry does the. The joint secretary started when I was Minister of Finance. Okay. It was part of the reforms to make sure that audit reports don't sit on the shelves of lawmakers, because you are busy. There are people there who don't know anything about interpreting financial data, so you needed a secretariat that is led by a manager who coordinates all of this to help us understand all the reports.
And then perhaps the nomenclature of the line item, don't you think it is problematic?
That's a very good point, and we will consider that, because to the public, to my brother Martin Colley, I know he's going to come back and try to refute it because he doesn't like for anybody to challenge him, and I understand that. He is right to hold all of us accountable, but on this particular issue, that money is purely for the support of the Secretariat and the work they do. For example, if you have followed us this week, we have completed the consolidated report for all the other hearings that we had last year for 12 other reports, including the Central Bank report. The House endorsed it. I think tomorrow we are going to vote on it. There were some sticky issues there, and then we'll send it to the president for recommendation. We are recommending restitution for some people, prosecution for some people. I have asked the Secretariat to summarize how much money we are going to potentially save, return to Liberia through this process. This is to pay staff and consultants for the work they do to support the work of the PAC committee members.
Okay. On the issue of audit of the legislature, I know there were times you, Senator Snow, and others raising the issue of audit, but still.
Yeah, and Senator Young, our pro tem took the proactive step to bring in the GAC to first do the system audits. Right now, as I speak to you, we have somebody, a financial consultant, that she brought in. She's very serious about it. I have to commend her, for her leadership, for being courageous to push this, because to talk about audit in the legislature, it was like a taboo. So she has done a systems audit. We are using that systems audit now to put in place the financial system so that you can do regular, full-scale audit in the future. So at this point, we are building the system now. If you are asking why not audit the past, I think that is a question of, can you audit the past in an event where there was no systems? Can the GAC actually audit the past in an institution that had no financial, no accounting system, none whatsoever?
Well, we should be asking the GAC that question.
Correct. We should, and we did. And what they told us when we met was that it would be difficult to do that audit because there's no document to review. There's nothing to trace in the legislature. So what I ask the Liberian people is to see the wisdom in the Senate through our leader to allow this system building process to mature. And then hopefully by the time we end this other session of the legislature will be in a better position to be audited for Liberian people.
I don't know if they are already there, but what do you think of internal auditors being embedded at the legislature, like they are at the ministries and agencies?
Yes, they're not there yet, but our financial consultant who is putting these systems in place is consulting both for the IAA and the GAC, and the guy is very competent, and I think he's doing a fantastic job.
Before we go to the lines, there are those who think or who describe you as being egoistic or egotistical. You want it to be your way. Once it is not your way, then you find ways to critique it. In fact, possibly you may be considering a 2029 run and all that kind of thing. And it is like you're not seeing your way in the unity party. Earlier, you were even talking about a third force. Perhaps that's where you want to go together with others. How do you respond to that?
Well, people, I don't have control over people's opinions of me, but I know who I am, and the person I am is that I will never shake your hand on something and then stab you in the back. I will not do that. Unless we come back and you tell me, say, Amara, slow down. But once we agree on something, that's it. When I give you my word is my word. I think that's one reputation I have in this town. Now, I want the public to know that we are in a predatory, corrupt environment where people prey on people for being kind, they exploit their expertise or whatever resources they bring to the table. And then once they achieve the goal, then it becomes a totally different ball game. I don't know how to do these machinations, to be honest with you. I don't know how to go in a corner and change things, unknowing to people, and so on and so forth. So when I found out that people have changed course in the middle of the game or in the middle of our programs without telling me, I get offended, and that's when I take the positions that I take. But I'm not egoistic. I'm not blandly ambitious. I live below my means, about 50%. I'm not flashy. I'm not all of those things. But I don't like deceit. And the definition of politics for some of our brothers and sisters in this town, let's just use it and get what we want. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not all for that. And once I detect that in you, I'll fight against you. And in our culture, that comes across as
still on the
egoistic
Terrorforce 2029. Terrorforce, you are already pushing the Terrorforce thing. Musa Ability is running with his CMC.
I said, and I'll repeat what I said, and I will tell you exactly where I am.
Okay.
Our politics is becoming too polarized. Look at what's happening with the projects in Bon and Nimba counties. Mm-hmm. Look at all this talk about who started it. But people forget that in 2018, the same thing happened when President Weah was delegating projects here. Both sides trying to take credit for what and what.
Yeah.
The EAWA role, and so on and so forth. Does it matter?
Certain roles in Nimba
County. Does it matter? Does it matter at this point when we all say government is continuity and so on? Does it hurt that at these programs we can be honest and say, we want to thank this president for initiating this. I want to thank my team for completing it. Wouldn't that be part of the reconciliation to close the gap? But when we polarize our politics and we don't think about its impact on those who elect us, I don't like that kind of game. And I'm beginning to see that our friends in the UP are becoming less tolerant. They were just in the opposition a few years ago, and some of them were maltreated, and all of us stood for them. How can you come in the government now and you try to do the same thing? For example, at the LTA, the old commissioners under the Weah regime were asked to resign to create space for these new commissioners to come in. Then all of a sudden, the new commissioners are being confirmed, but then there's a debate about whether they pay those old commissioners. That's wrong. We can't keep hurting each other every time we get power, and we just hurt each other in this country. We are just one people. If you made an agreement with them to step aside and you will pay them, pay them. Don't put them through that kind of stuff. So, where are we going? So this is where the whole idea of a third force is beginning to resonate with me, but I'm not there yet. I just hope that, all of my friends on both sides can see me as the black sheep. I'm an old cat in this politics.
Do you think the UP can course correct?
Of course. I think they have time to course correct. It's been only a year and a half. And the expectation of the population is higher for the UP than the CDC, in my view, because of the experience of running the country for 12 years. And then also President Boakai is surrounded by people, I don't want to sound condescending to the CDC, who have more experience, more education, and so on. So people expect that this regime will improve their living conditions compared to the CDC. And that is why I hope we all need to be hard on ourselves and hold each other accountable. We shouldn't wait for President Adesina to come and give that kind of speech before we can, tighten our belts to get to work. If Amarakone says something to remind us, I hope you can take it in good faith versus me trying to maybe give CDC a tailwind against the UP. That's not my intention.
Okay. His name is Amarakone Senator Bapolu County. Maybe the next time he's here, we will talk more about Bapolu too, because they may not be happy that I'm hosting the senator. And we hardly ever mention them.
Yes, you focus on national issue, but yesterday at the hearing of the LTA, we talked to them about digital inclusion for our people. Besides Bapolu, everywhere you go in Bapolu County is 2G. It's just voice. They have to climb the hills. For example, in my hometown, people have to come from several towns to a particular spot on my farm to make calls to their relatives abroad. And we are in the 21st century, for God's sake. So we're urging the LTA commissioners yesterday to move from 2G to 3G in those communities, and we talk about our people.
Okay.
Yeah.
777-700-995, the number. Welcome. Let's hear you.
David Kuti, my name.
Go ahead quickly, sir.
Senator, let me first of all thank you for playing the role you played to get the CDC off our backs. You have become a political maverick, and I admire you for that, and that is challenging the status quo from within. That's very good. But I'd like to advise that you please do it inside. This country is a very funny country. We don't understand.
Well, he said the inside channels are closed. So if there's no way to do it inside, do it outside.
They are open. But let me give
but the men again, he said they didn't close. Then you say
I'm telling him they are not closed. They're still open. Let me ask my question then. Thank you.
Okay.
Senator, this country needs fire trucks in every district. We need ambulances in every district. Now, the flooding is taking over people's homes all over the country. People are suffering. Don't you think it's unfair for you senators and representatives to receive a brand new car every 3 years, costing $45,000, when the budget of this country has not even reached $1 billion?
Okay, let's hold that. Let's take orders quickly. We don't have enough time. Welcome. Let's hear you from overseas.
Yeah, Patrick. So, Julius, I'm going to just, this has been my argument on your show or other platforms. How can our programs, like the senator said, the import, how can our grants we sign growth in our GDP? There was growth under former President Ellen. There was growth under though. How can these things, how can the impact be felt by our people? Like the senator said, this is the problem. We can solve this problem, but we have to keep this problem where it is. Nobody is saying that George Weah did not do well. Why do you think after 6 years, he built roads? There was growth in the GDP. Yet instead the people say, we tired of suffering. That's the same thing we say in this government. Let your programs, let your policy, let your fiscal policy, grants, growth in your GDP. We want this to reflect in the lives of our people in Petu.
Okay, thanks so kindly. Let's hold you that. Let's bring another person in from the US to France. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Julius, and good afternoon to Honorable Kone.
Go ahead, quickly.
Honorable Kone, you are gone 1 year, 6 months, or 7 months, I may be correct on that. And you are not going back to congratulate the people who gave you a 9 years job. We are lucrative.
How you know?
I think that's unfortunate, Honorable Kone.
How you know?
To hold you there. I am in my county.
Hello, wait now, Frank Gibson. Let the man respond.
No. I think he's trying to take a cheap shot and focus. No. Let me answer you. What is your idea of appreciating the people, to go and give them liquor and food and stuff? No, I'm not that kind of politician. Since the election, let me finish. Since the election, I have built roads that were, whatever. I don't think
Okay, Frank. Yeah. Let me just find out from you. He is almost in his county every week. So when you say he didn't go back to appreciate, what do you want him to do?
Julius, Honorable Kone will never carry some of those villages that he went to when he was running campaign. Some of those people were never seen until the 9 years.
I am asking you, what do you want him to do in terms of appreciation?
Change the life of the people of Buffalo.
Okay.
In Nimba County.
Okay, thanks. So currently he's talking about development. No, let me just take a few more calls.
Because it's wrong. I need to address that. I am in my county every other week. I have jobs for people there. I have built roads since I was elected to fix the bad road conditions. I have built ferries for communities that were disconnected from the main center of the economy and so on and so forth. And we are closing this week. I'm going to spend the month of August vacationing in my county. All right. So if you don't see me posting appreciation programs and so on and so forth, doesn't mean that I haven't appreciated the people. Maybe I have not gone to your village yet, but it's 9 years, and the appreciation is a continuous process. This is a permanent campaign, my friend.
Okay.
It's not a one-time campaign.
Okay, thanks. So kind of this person says, recently we heard that the Bamboo Town Bridge was fixed temporarily. I saw some videos about the bridge, which is very terrible. Please let him address it. You know any place called Bamboo Town Bridge?
Of course, yes. And we have been discussing this. The Monrovia-Bopolu Highway is a national highway. The issue here is that the last caucus and the project management committee plus the council met and approved certain projects, including the Bamboo Town Bridge, where they were supposed to spend at least about $150,000 on that bridge. Apparently, they did not implement the project during their time until this government came into office. Our caucus believe that since this is a national road, we can appeal to the government to fix that bridge, since they were rehabilitating the road, and then we can put that $150,000 into other projects. Then it became an issue between the representative for the district and my colleague, Senator Cannon, the caucus chair. And Public Works has gone there to do the bridge, but the design that was displayed,
it's another same bridge that Musa Belede's party wanted to do.
The design that my brother Musa displayed for the people was more attractive, than maybe what Public Works had put there. But Public Works has rehabilitated the bridge and vehicles are moving.
Okay. Thanks. So kind of let's take this one that has been on quickly. 35 seconds.
Yes, sir. Julius, good evening, and good evening to my brother in studio, Senator Amara Kone and Musa Sharif. Senator Kone, I want to appreciate you so highly. You are a very disciplined public official. What is perceived that has happened to you, I don't know if it is what happened or so, that the European government has closed its door on you. I still consider that as people saying. And you remain, well within the confines of discipline in terms of governance, and you are not behaving like the other people. For me, I see that very commending. It's very, very commendable. I want to thank you for that. And then concerning some of the assertion that you made regarding CDC for the macroeconomic, improvement they had during the 2023, these things were physical, they were saying. It's just CDC's own error that they didn't follow up to disseminate their own information. That is not new. It was new to both the CDC and the UP, but CDC failure to announce what it did. I think you did well for them.
Okay.
And lastly, on the issue, I'll make it quickly.
Yeah, the time now.
Yeah. On the issues of arrogance, I think it's very important that the UP comes down. You are in governance. Come down. Arrogance can't solve it.
Okay, let's hold you right there. Let's take orders. Quickly, let's hear you.
Hello, Julius. My name is Mamen Sikaba.
Go ahead.
I want to thank my big brother and the senator in studio for his analysis. And first of all, I must commend him for going beyond conventional politics in Liberia. It takes a brave person to support the side you support and still come out to disagree when there are disagreeable issues. And he should not be deterred because he has been very sincere, like he said. The expectation of this government is high, and the simple reason for that is because the impression the government put the Liberian people under, that the CDC-led government was doing a lot of bad things, they were coming to fix it. For politicians, they are frustrated right now. So he should not mind the intolerance of our brother from the UP. I think he just needs to speak out where there is fact, especially like the former Minister of Finance said, once you have the data and you know this is the truth, say it so that your people can know what is going on because you have the knowledge about the field. So
Okay.
thank you so very much.
Thanks so kindly for your call as well. We go back to him. Just 1 minute to wrap up, sir.
Well, I want to close with this caveat, and I want all of my friends on both sides to know that this is our country. My generation perhaps felt the most consequences of our war. We are tempered by war, by our civil war. All right, I'm in my mid-50s now. So some of us are in public service to reflect on what we have done. I have had my share of mistakes, but my mistakes were for good intention. And my responsibility now is to share my experience with my friends who are now leading these institutions to help us move our country forward. I don't want you to consider my position, public position, private position, as anti-you or in support of you. I'm doing this for Liberia. When I came back, I made a commitment to myself, my family, and my staff, and told them that I didn't come back here for all the political shenanigans. I will find the right people to work with, and I will speak my mind independently, whether I get in trouble for that or not. And so I hope that the same spirit that brought us together as colleagues in the past still exists.
Do you think we should be getting cars every 3 years, as
then,
difficulty as?
I really don't, to be honest, I don't think so. I think the new people who come in should get their cars, and the car should take us for our term. I hope my colleagues don't get angry with me, but again, people ask me why. When I was minister here, the car I had at planning, I was minister here for 8 years. I spent 3.5 years at planning. I spent 4 years at finance. The Nissan Patrol they bought for me at Ministry of Planning is the same Nissan Patrol that took me to the airport when I resigned and joined the World Bank.
Wow.
So
all those years?
Yes. The car, my personal car now is about 10 years. I don't have a brand new car for myself.
What do you mean? That Wrangler?
Yeah, the Wrangler is a used car I bought for the campaign, but my Land Cruiser.
Oh, okay.
So for for me, car is not a big deal, but for other people, it may be a big deal. Yes.
Okay. Thanks so kindly, sir.
Thank you.
That's how we go. My name is Julius Chair. We are out. Tomorrow will be another day right here.